Hey friends, Matt here. In our video today, I am going to be attempting to answer the question, can all believers prophesy? The idea that all believers can prophesy is a teaching that has picked up a lot of traction in recent years. And so what we're going to do is we are going to go to 1 Corinthians chapter 12, which is considered by most people to be the primary chapter in the Bible concerning spiritual gifts. And we're going to look at 3 different passages within the chapter to see if we can answer that question. Before I get to that breakdown, though, I do want to put a disclaimer out there for anybody who's watching this. This is not a debate about spiritual gifts in the sense of continuationist versus cessationist. We can disagree on a number of things concerning spiritual gifts, and we can still be in the Orthodox camp, and we can still partner arms together as believers. This is just specifically looking at that question, can all believers prophesy? So we're going to get to that in just a second, but first, hey guys, my name is Matt. Welcome to my channel. If you could please take a second to subscribe, I greatly appreciate it, and it helps me get this Christian content out to more people on YouTube. All right, as I said, we have 3 passages to get to in 1 Corinthians chapter 12. We're going to start with verses 7 through 11. To each is given the manifestation of the Spirit for the common good. For to one is given through the Spirit the utterance of wisdom, and to another the utterance of knowledge according to the same Spirit, to another faith by the same Spirit, to another gifts of healing by the one Spirit, to another the working of miracles, to another prophecy, to another the ability to distinguish between spirits, to another various kinds of tongues, to another the interpretation of tongues. All these are empowered by one and the same Spirit, who apportions to each one individually as he wills. Now, I'd like to point out in that passage, you see how it keeps using the same phrase over and over. It says, to one he gives this gift, to another this gift. That certainly seems to indicate that not everybody is going to have the exact same gift, because some people are getting one gift and some people are getting another gift. And in fact, in verse 11, it says that the Holy Spirit apportions to each one individually as he wills. So if every person got the same spiritual gift, it would not be the Holy Spirit apportioning to each one as he willed. Now let's continue on. We're going to go down now to verses 14 through 20. For the body does not consist of one member, but of many. If the foot should say, because I am not a hand, I do not belong to the body, that would not make it any less a part of the body. And if the ear should say, because I am not an eye, I do not belong to the body, that would not make it any less a part of the body. If the whole body were an eye, where would be the sense of hearing? If the whole body were an ear, where would be the sense of smell? But as it is, God arranged the members in the body, each one of them as he chose. If all were a single member, where would the body be? As it is, there are many parts, yet one body. Again, I think we see here, we have the picture of an entire body, but many parts. All these parts have different functions. They don't all function the same way. And so it would seem to me that if you were to say that all believers should prophesy, wouldn't that mean that we're all kind of the same part in some sense? Maybe yes, maybe no. Maybe you don't agree with anything that I've said up till this point, but I think this last passage in 1 Corinthians 12 is really going to drive it home and make it pretty clear the answer to our original question. So let's go to verses 29 and 30. It says, are all apostles? Are all prophets? Are all teachers? Do all work miracles? Do all possess gifts of healing? Do all speak with tongues? Do all interpret? Friends, we see a string of questions being asked there. Now let's focus specifically on the one where it says, are all prophets? In the Greek, it is me, pas, prophetes. And the word me in Greek means no. When you insert it in a question, it demands that the answer to the question is no. In fact, every single question that we just read in those 2 verses has the word may in it. So the answer to all of the questions is no. So are all prophets? No. I've heard some people say, well, that's talking about the office of a prophet. It's not talking about the gift of prophecy, which is available for all people. But friends, if you look at that list, it's not all talking about these offices that are available. It says, do all possess gifts of healing? Well, no. Do all speak with tongues? No. That is the clear answer, because all of those have may, have no in the question. So obviously this is talking about the gift itself. So are all prophets, or can all prophesy? The answer is no. So to answer the original question, no, not all believers can prophesy. As I said, again, this is not to get into a debate about the gift of prophecy. Is it for today or has it ceased as one of the sign gifts? Friends, that's not what we're about here. I just think that there is a false notion going around that all believers should be able to prophesy. And from what I have seen, just following things online, but also sometimes in person, I think it does a lot of damage when you tell everybody that they can prophesy, and it encourages people who do not have that gift to get out and speak words on behalf of God that are simply not coming true. And that is a really dangerous thing. So again, not trying to convince you anyway on spiritual gifts. Believe what you believe in regard to that, but no, not all believers can prophesy. I think that's something that is very clearly put forward here in the text. All right, guys, I hope that this has been helpful to you. If it has been helpful, if you would please consider subscribing to the channel. Again, that really helps me in this effort to get Christian content out to more people on YouTube. I plan, Lord willing, on doing a teaching video every Friday. We actually have been going through the book of Hebrews. I'm taking a few weeks off to do some standalone teachings like this one, but we'll get back to the book of Hebrews here pretty soon. And I do some discernment work a couple of times throughout the week as well. All right, guys, that's all I have for you today. Thanks again for watching. And until next time, God bless.